You've studied English for years. But when your boss asks a simple question, your mind goes blank. You know the words, you know the grammar, but suddenly everything disappears. Your brain freezes. Your confidence drops. Hey everyone, I'm Robert, and welcome back to Daily English Insights. Today, we're starting a powerful 1-hour shadowing practice for real workplace English. The kind of English you need to sound natural, not just correct. Let me tell you a story. A few months ago, I met one of my students, Amir. He's from Turkey, works in an international company, and has studied English for nearly 10 years. He told me, "Robert, I can read reports, I can write emails, but in meetings, I feel like a robot. I think too much, and by the time I decide what to say, the topic has changed." Sound familiar? One day, Amir had a team meeting with his boss and colleagues from different countries. The boss asked, "So, Amir, what do you think about the new project plan?" Amir smiled nervously. Inside his head, he thought, use present perfect? Maybe conditional? Or better, a polite phrase? While his brain searched for grammar, his moment passed. After the meeting, he told me, "I knew what I wanted to say, but I didn't sound confident." That's the painful truth for many learners. You don't lack knowledge. You lack real-life rhythm. Let's look at the contrast that matters. Textbook English. I think that this project is a very interesting and potentially successful idea, which could bring many benefits to the company. Real English. Yeah, I think it's a great idea. It could really help the team. See the difference? Both are correct. But the second one feels natural, short, clear, confident. That's what real workplace English sounds like. Fluency isn't about how many words you know. It's about how smoothly you use them when life happens in real time. Let's try something right now. Repeat these 3 simple phrases after me. 3 times each. Ready? Hey, how's your day going? Once slowly, once naturally, once with a smile. Good to see you again. Feel the rhythm, short, friendly, easy. Busy morning, right? Say it like you're chatting at work. These phrases look small, but they open doors. They help you sound like someone who belongs, not just someone who studied English. When I asked Amir about his biggest fear, he said, "I'm afraid people will think my English is bad." But here's what I told him. People don't care about your grammar. They care about your energy. You see, in international workplaces, native speakers make mistakes all the time. They use filler words, shorten sentences, repeat ideas, but they speak with rhythm and confidence. Let's compare 2 situations. Formal but frozen. Boss, how's your day going? Learner, it's fine. I am very busy with many tasks to complete. Boss smiles politely. Conversation ends. Natural and alive. Boss, how's your day going? Learner, pretty good. Yeah, a bit busy, but it's going well. Boss nods. Conversation flows. The second one works because it sounds human. That's what you need, human English. So why does workplace English feel so hard? Because most learners have trained their writing brain, not their speaking brain. You've studied vocabulary and grammar rules, which are important, but you haven't trained your voice to react naturally. That's where shadowing comes in. Shadowing means listening and repeating English out loud, matching tone, rhythm, and emotion. It's not just about pronunciation. It's about training your reflexes. Think of it like learning music. You don't just read notes. You listen, repeat, and feel the rhythm until it becomes part of you. That's how native speakers build flow, through sound, not rules. Amir started shadowing every morning before work. Just 5 minutes, he listened to short dialogues, repeated them out loud, copied the tone, the pauses, the emotion. After 2 weeks, he told me, "Robert, something changed. I didn't prepare for my meetings. I just spoke. The words came out by themselves." That's fluency, not perfection. Flow. Let's do a quick shadowing test together. Listen, then repeat. "Hey, how's your day going?" "Good to see you again." "Busy morning, right?" Each time you say these lines, you're not only practicing English, you're building confidence. You're teaching your brain to stay calm and speak naturally under pressure. Because in real life, it's not about knowing English. It's about using English when it matters most. Now let's face another truth. Many learners think that sounding professional means using formal, complicated language. But in most workplaces, people prefer simple, friendly communication. Wrong mindset. I must sound academic and serious. Right mindset. I want to sound clear and approachable. Professional doesn't mean stiff. It means confident and kind. Imagine these two versions in the office. Robotic version. I will contact you again at a later time to discuss this issue. Natural version. Sure, I'll get back to you later about that. Same message, totally different feeling. One sounds like a textbook, the other sounds like teamwork. Shadowing helps you feel those differences, not just understand them. When you repeat natural speech daily, you start to think in real English rhythm. So here's the truth I want you to remember. Workplace English isn't about fancy words. It's about clarity, confidence, and flow. Every time you shadow, you're not copying. You're training your voice to express who you are. You're turning memorized words into natural reactions. And that's why this 1-hour shadowing practice matters. It's not a grammar lesson. It's your fluency gym. A space where your mouth, mind, and confidence work together. Because English isn't just something you learn. It's something you live. So if you've ever felt nervous at work, afraid to speak, afraid to sound wrong, remember this. Even the most fluent speakers started where you are now. The difference is, they practiced until English became part of their voice. And starting today, so will you. Now that you know the problem, let's start training your real English brain. With shadowing. Actors rehearse their lines. Singers repeat their songs. Fluent speakers do both. In English. That's the secret to sounding confident and natural when you speak. You don't just learn English, you train your voice to move like English. And that's exactly what shadowing does. Let's start with what shadowing really means. Shadowing is simple. You listen to someone speaking in English, and you repeat what they say, almost at the same time, matching their tone, rhythm, and emotion. It's like singing along to a song, but instead of music, you're singing the rhythm of conversation. It may sound strange, but it's one of the most powerful ways to build fluency, because your brain doesn't just memorize, it feels the flow of English. Here's the difference. Passive listening is what most learners do. You put on a podcast, you nod, you think, "Yeah, I understand." But after 30 minutes, nothing changes. Active shadowing is different. You speak, you move, you copy tone and rhythm. Your mouth learns to react. Your English voice gets stronger. Let me tell you a story about Maya, one of my students from Japan. She used to listen to English podcasts every day on her way to work. She could understand a lot, but when she tried to speak, she froze. She said, "I hear the words, but I can't say them fast enough." Then we changed her method. Instead of just listening, I told her to shadow. She played short podcast clips, 2 or 3 sentences at a time, and repeated them out loud, copying every rise and fall, every emotion. At first it felt awkward, but after 2 weeks she came to class and said, "Something's different. I can speak faster. My brain doesn't need to translate anymore." That's the power of shadowing. It connects your ears to your mouth. The real path to fluency. Let's break it down into 3 parts. Listen, repeat, and feel. Listen. Choose short, real-life English, podcasts, dialogues, or YouTube clips. Don't worry if you don't understand every word. Focus on sound, not translation. Repeat. Speak with the speaker, not after. Match the rhythm. Copy the tone. Feel. Notice how your mouth moves, how your voice rises and falls. That's how English feels natural. Think of it like training for a sport. You don't read about running, you run. You don't memorize swimming techniques. You get in the water. Shadowing is your workout for English. Now, let's do a short warm-up together. Ready? Listen and repeat each line 3 times. First time, neutral tone. Second time, polite tone. Third time, confident tone. Good morning. Can we talk for a minute? Good morning. Can we talk for a minute? Good morning. Can we talk for a minute? Feel how your tone changes? That's communication. Not grammar, but energy. Here's another one. Could you send me that file, please? Say it slow, then natural, then confident. This one phrase can sound 3 very different ways. Robotic. Could you send me that file, please? Polite. Could you send me that file, please? Professional. Could you send me that file, please? Smile in your voice. You didn't change the words. You changed the music behind them. That's what shadowing teaches you. The rhythm of real people. Let's practice a few more from your workplace phrase bank. Repeat each 3 times, changing your tone each time. Would you mind helping me with this? Let's double-check the details. Could you send me that file, please? These short lines are your fluency fuel. Every time you shadow them, you're building confidence. Not in grammar, but in sound. Now, let's talk about why tone and rhythm matter so much in English. In many languages, meaning lives in the words. But in English, meaning lives in the music. A small change in tone can change everything. Compare these 2. Flat version. Can we talk for a minute? Cold, serious. Natural version. Can we talk for a minute? Friendly, open. Same words, different world. Native speakers communicate emotion through rhythm. When you shadow, you learn to hear and feel that rhythm. And that's what makes your English sound alive. Think of shadowing like training your inner actor. You copy tone, emotion, and attitude. You start to play the role of a confident English speaker until one day you become one. Professional speakers do this all the time. News anchors, radio hosts, even CEOs rehearse their words aloud before big meetings. They practice how they sound, not just what they say. That's what you can do too. Here's a small exercise to feel it. Say this phrase in 3 styles. Neutral. Good morning. Polite. Good morning. Friendly. Good morning. Smile. Lift your tone at the end. Did you notice how your energy changes? The last one feels open, inviting. Exactly what you need at work. Now imagine if every time you spoke English, it carried that same rhythm. People wouldn't just hear your words. They'd feel your confidence. Let's compare one more pair. Grammar perfect but stiff. I am writing to inform you about the meeting schedule. Natural and real. Just wanted to check in about the meeting schedule. Which one sounds more human? The second one. It's shorter, warmer, and easier to say. And that's the beauty of shadowing. It trains your mouth to choose the natural path. Remember this mindset. Fluency grows in your ears before it grows in your mouth. You can't speak what you don't hear clearly. So every time you shadow, you're teaching your ears to recognize English rhythm, and your mouth to follow it automatically. That's why actors, athletes, and musicians all use the same approach. They repeat, refine, and feel the movement until it becomes muscle memory. Shadowing builds your English muscles. Let's imagine one more story. Carlos, an engineer from Mexico, used to prepare for every meeting by writing full sentences and reading them word for word. He sounded nervous and unnatural, but when he started shadowing business podcasts, everything changed. He told me, "Now I don't write full sentences anymore. I just speak," because shadowing taught him to trust his voice, not his notes. That's what you want too. You want English to flow through you, not from a paper. So here's your simple shadowing routine for work. Choose a short audio clip, under 1 minute. Listen once, just to understand the tone. Shadow 3 times, first slow, then natural, then emotional. Record yourself once a week to hear your progress. You'll start to notice something amazing. Your pronunciation improves naturally. You start to sound more confident without thinking. And the fear of speaking, it starts to fade. Because now, your English voice knows what to do. So remember, shadowing isn't copying. It's training. It's emotional practice. It's the bridge between learning English and living English. Every time you repeat a line, you're not just practicing language, you're practicing courage. So, take one phrase today, maybe, "Could you send me that file, please?" and repeat it with rhythm and heart. Feel it, believe it, live it. Because the next time your boss says, "Can we talk for a minute?" you won't freeze. You'll smile and reply naturally. "Sure, of course. Give me a second." That's confidence. That's rhythm. That's real English. Now that your English voice is ready, let's move into real conversations. The kind that actually happen at work. You've trained your voice. You've learned rhythm, tone, and confidence. Now it's time to bring everything together. Real English for real conversations. This section is the heart of our practice. Full workplace dialogues you can shadow, feel, and repeat until English sounds like you. Each one is a real-world moment. Small, simple, but powerful. Because real fluency isn't built in textbooks. It's built in conversations like these. Let's start with the first scene. 1. Morning office chat. Casual politeness. Picture this. You walk into the office, coffee in hand. Everyone's starting their day, checking emails, saying hello. This is your moment to connect. Short, easy, friendly English that builds comfort and trust. Key phrases. Morning. How was your weekend? Pretty good. Just tried to rest a bit. Nice. I needed that too. Now let's shadow together. First, slow and clear. Morning. How was your weekend? Pretty good. Just tried to rest a bit. Nice. I needed that too. Next, natural rhythm. Morning. How was your weekend? Pretty good. Just tried to rest a bit. Nice. I needed that too. And finally, confident tone. Relaxed, warm, friendly. You see, these short exchanges might look small, but they're where relationships begin. Let's look at the contrast, robotic version. Good morning. How was your weekend? It was fine. I was sleeping. Flat tone, no emotion. Conversation ends. Authentic version. Morning. How was your weekend? Pretty good. Just tried to rest a bit. Nice. I needed that too. Natural tone, small laughter. Connection made. The secret isn't new vocabulary, it's energy, a soft laugh, an open tone. That's what people remember. So next time you start your workday, don't worry about sounding perfect. Just sound alive. 2. Team meeting, sharing opinions. Now let's move to something a little more serious. The team meeting. This is where many learners freeze. You understand the discussion, but when it's your turn to speak, you panic. What if I say it wrong? But here's the truth. Your team doesn't want perfection. They want clarity and confidence. Let's practice. Key phrases. I think that's a good point. From my side, we could try this. Let's summarize the main ideas. Say each phrase 3 times. Slow, natural, confident. I think that's a good point. From my side, we could try this. Let's summarize the main ideas. Now let's shadow a short meeting dialogue. Manager. So, what's everyone's opinion on this new process? You? I think that's a good point. From my side, we could try this version first. Manager. Great idea. Let's summarize the main ideas and move forward. Simple, calm, professional. Here's the contrast. Wrong version. Overthinking grammar. I am thinking that this point is a good point, and from my side of the team we can maybe try to make this process better. It's not wrong, but it's heavy. Real meetings move fast. You need short, clear flow, right version, natural tone. I think that's a good point. From my side, we could try this. Clean, confident, clear. Shadow that version again 3 times. Feel the rhythm. Feel the authority in simplicity. This is how professionals speak. Not with complicated words, but with calm control. 3. Asking for help or clarification. Even confident speakers get lost sometimes. Maybe your boss explains something too fast, or a coworker uses a word you don't know. Many learners stay silent, but asking questions politely is one of the most professional things you can do. Key phrases. Sorry, could you explain that again? Just to be sure I understood. Thanks, that helps a lot. Let's shadow. Sorry, could you explain that again? Just to be sure I understood. Thanks, that helps a lot. Now, let's practice in a mini scene. Coworker. So you'll need to update the report and send it by noon. You. Sorry, could you explain that again? Coworker. Sure, just edit the second page and send it to me before lunch. You. Ah, got it. Just to be sure I understood. Update page 2 and send it before noon. Coworker. Exactly. You. Thanks, that helps a lot. Perfect. Calm, polite, professional. Now contrast that with what most learners do when nervous. Shy version. Ah, yes, okay, I understand. But you don't. This kills communication. Confident version. Sorry, could you explain that again? Polite tone. It shows maturity, not weakness. When you shadow these phrases, practice your tone of respect, not fear. Your voice should sound calm, not apologetic. Repeat this line 3 times. Just to be sure I understood. Feel how it sounds open and thoughtful. That's real professionalism. 4. Handling awkward moments or mistakes. Let's face it, everyone makes mistakes at work. You send the wrong file, you misunderstand an email, you forget something. The difference between stress and confidence is how you recover. Here's the secret. Mistakes don't end conversations. They make you human. Key phrases. Oh, my mistake? Let me fix that. Sorry about that. I'll double-check next time. Thanks for catching that. Let's shadow these lines 3 times. Oh, my mistake. Let me fix that. Sorry about that. I'll double-check next time. Thanks for catching that. Now imagine this. Manager. Hey, it looks like the file you sent is missing 1 page. You. Oh, my mistake. Let me fix that right away. Manager. No worries. You. Thanks for catching that. Short, simple, confident. Here's the contrast again. Wrong version. Nervous panic. Oh. Oh no. I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I will do again. Sorry. Right version. Professional calm. Oh, my mistake. Let me fix that. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to handle it smoothly. Shadow that tone. Firm, polite, positive. Repeat. Sorry about that. I'll double-check next time. That's how you turn a mistake into trust. And remember this mindset. When you handle small problems calmly, people don't lose respect. They gain it for you. 5. End of day wrap-up. Friendly professionalism. The day is almost over. You're finishing emails, logging off, and saying goodbye. This is another moment many learners forget. But it matters. How you end your workday leaves an impression. Key phrases. Good job today. See you tomorrow. Take care. Get some rest. Let's shadow them. Good job today. See you tomorrow. Take care. Get some rest. Now let's imagine this scene. You. Good job today, everyone. Coworker. Thanks. You too. You. See you tomorrow. Get some rest. That's natural, friendly English. Confident but warm. Now the contrast, robotic version. Work is finished. Goodbye. Short, flat, no emotion. Natural version. Good job today. See you tomorrow. Friendly, rising tone. The words are easy, but the feeling is everything. Let's shadow that final line 3 times. Good job today. See you tomorrow. When you say it, add a smile, even if you're practicing alone. It changes your voice instantly. Bringing it all together. Let's connect everything you've practiced so far. From morning to night, every workplace conversation follows one rhythm. Greet, share, clarify, recover, and close. Here's how your English day could sound. Morning. Morning. How was your weekend? Pretty good. Just tried to rest a bit. Meeting. I think that's a good point. From my side, we could try this. Clarifying. Sorry. Could you explain that again? Thanks, that helps a lot. Mistake moment. Oh, my mistake. Let me fix that. Thanks for catching that. End of day. Good job today. See you tomorrow. Now let's shadow this full sequence once, together. Take a deep breath. Speak slowly the first time, then naturally the second, and confidently the third. Each of these lines might seem simple, but when you put them together, you sound like someone who belongs. That's what shadowing does. It gives you rhythm, flow, and heart. Because real fluency isn't about perfection. It's about kindness, timing, and connection. Let's say that again together. Real fluency isn't about perfection. It's about rhythm, kindness, and connection. Every phrase you just shadowed builds trust. The trust that says, you can talk to me. And that's what makes workplaces feel human, no matter what language you're speaking. So whether you're greeting your team, sharing your ideas, or fixing a mistake, remember, it's not about having perfect English. It's about having the right tone. And now, you have it. You've practiced how to speak in real conversations. Now let's turn these into daily habits that make fluency unstoppable. You've shadowed real dialogues. You've learned tone, rhythm, and confidence. But here's the truth. Fluency doesn't come from one big lesson. It comes from small, daily practice. Your English doesn't need more time. It needs more rhythm. Let's build that rhythm with 5 simple habits. Short, powerful routines that take only 5 minutes a day. Each one fits naturally into your life, no matter how busy you are. Because fluency doesn't grow in study rooms. It grows in your morning, your commute, your lunch break, your day. 1. The 5-minute morning routine. Listen plus repeat. Before work. The first few minutes of your day decide your tone for everything that follows. Before you check your phone or email, take 5 minutes to listen and shadow. Here's how it works. Choose one short dialogue, maybe from a podcast or from the dialogues we practiced earlier. Play it once, then play it again, and repeat every line out loud. It can be as simple as this. Let's get started. Can we talk later today? I'll handle it. That sounds good to me. Shadow them 3 times. First time, slow and clear. Second time, natural and relaxed. Third time, confident and smooth. That's your warm-up for your English voice. Think of it like brushing your teeth, but for your speaking skills. Every morning, you clean away the fear and hesitation that build up overnight. Let me tell you about one learner, Anita, from India. She started this exact 5-minute morning routine. She told me, "Before, I used to feel nervous before every meeting. Now, after shadowing, my voice already feels ready before I even join the call." That's the power of daily rhythm. Not perfection, but readiness. So tomorrow morning, before your day starts, give your English 5 minutes. You'll be amazed how confident your first words sound. The Commuter Challenge. Shadow. While you move, we all spend time traveling, walking, driving, waiting. Those moments are gold for your English. The Commuter Challenge is simple. Use your commute time as your shadowing time. Open a podcast, something short and conversational, like All Ears English, BBC Learning English, or any show you enjoy. Here's how you do it. Choose one short segment, maybe 1 to 2 minutes long. Play it once for understanding. Play it again, this time speaking with the speaker. If you're shy, you can whisper. If you're walking alone, speak out loud. For example, repeat these lines from your workplace phrase bank. Let's get started. I'll handle it. That sounds good to me. Do it while walking, waiting for the bus, or driving. Why does this work? Because your body starts linking English rhythm with motion. You stop treating English as something separate. It becomes part of your day. My student Diego from Brazil used to hate commuting. He said, "It was just lost time." Then he started shadowing his favorite podcast during the drive to work. In 1 month, his colleagues noticed. One told him, "Hey, your English sounds more natural these days." Diego laughed and said, "Thanks, it's my car classroom." So remember, even your travel time can be practice time. You don't need extra hours, just extra rhythm. The lunch break practice. Talk to yourself or a friend, now it's lunchtime. You've worked all morning, you're tired. Your brain wants a break. But here's a fun secret. Your brain loves short English moments between tasks. So try this. During lunch, talk to yourself in English for 1 minute. Describe your food, your morning, your plans. For example, "Okay, I'm having pasta today. It smells amazing. I finished the report this morning. That felt good." It sounds simple, but it trains your mind to think in English. If you have a friend or coworker learning English too, even better. Try one small conversation in English every day. You. "Busy morning, right? Friend." "Yeah, I'll handle the rest after lunch." You. "That sounds good to me." Short, fun, real. The goal isn't to speak perfectly. It's to make English feel natural in ordinary life. And if you're alone, just narrate your thoughts. You're not talking to yourself, you're training your fluency. You see, native speakers don't wait for lessons. They use their language everywhere. That's why it flows. You can too. 4. The Confidence Journal. One phrase a day. Here's one of my favorite habits. Every day after work, open a small notebook. Your confidence journal. Write down one new English phrase you used or heard that day. Just one. Maybe it's, let's double-check the details, or that sounds good to me, or I'll handle it. Then write one short sentence using it. I told my coworker, I'll handle it. It felt good. This tiny action does two things. First, it helps you remember new phrases. Second, it helps you celebrate your progress. One of my students, Hana from Korea, started doing this. She said, "At first, it looked like nothing. One phrase a day. But after 1 month, I had 30 new phrases I actually use." She didn't study them. She lived them. That's what real fluency is, using words until they belong to you. So tonight, start your confidence journal. Write today's phrase. I can make English part of my day. And tomorrow, write the next one. Small wins become big confidence. The weekly review. Record and reflect. The last habit ties it all together. Recording yourself. Once a week, take 5 minutes to record your voice. You can use your phone, a laptop, or even a voice message app. Read your favorite dialogue from this lesson. Maybe the morning chat or the meeting phrases. Speak naturally. Don't try to sound perfect. Then listen, don't judge, just notice. Can you hear your tone, your rhythm, your confidence? You might think, that sounds strange. But after a few weeks, you'll notice improvement. You'll think, wait, I sound more natural now. That's your progress. Not numbers or grammar points, but sound. Recording lets you see your growth. It's proof that you're becoming fluent. Say this phrase with me 3 times. I sound more natural every day. Slow, natural, confident. Each repetition plants belief deeper in your mind because fluency isn't a one-time event. It's a story you record. One phrase, one voice note, one day at a time. Mini story. How small habits change everything. Let me tell you about Ahmed, one of my learners from Egypt. When he started, he said, "I'm too busy to study English." So I asked, "Can you give me 5 minutes a day?" He agreed. He used the morning shadowing routine while making coffee. He listened to podcasts in the car. He talked to himself during lunch. He wrote one phrase every night. And on Fridays, he recorded his voice. After 6 weeks, he didn't just speak better. He felt better. He said, "Robert, I used to be afraid to join meetings. Now I just talk." Not because he learned more words, but because he built rhythm, not pressure. That's the magic of these micro-habits. They're short enough to do daily and strong enough to change everything. You don't have to add more hours, just more heart. Putting it all together. Here's your full daily fluency system. Morning. Shadow short dialogues, 5 minutes. Commute. Listen and repeat key lines from podcasts. Lunch. Speak or think in English, even for 1 minute. Evening. Write one phrase in your confidence journal. Weekend. Record your progress and reflect. Each of these is tiny. Together, they're unstoppable. When you practice like this, English stops feeling like a subject. It becomes a rhythm that moves with your life. You'll start noticing something beautiful. English words will appear in your thoughts, not just in your lessons. You'll start speaking before you realize you're trying, because confidence doesn't come from studying. It comes from showing up every day, even for 5 minutes. So, make English your habit, your morning sound, your lunchtime thought, your daily rhythm. And remember, your English doesn't need more time. It needs more rhythm. Now let's talk about what happens when you finally stop chasing perfection and start feeling English. You don't need to sound like a native speaker. You need to sound like you, but confident. That's the truth about fluency. It's not about accents or perfect grammar. It's about finding your voice in English and letting it sound real, natural, and alive. Let's take a moment to look back at your journey today. You started this practice with a problem many learners face. You study English for years, but still feel nervous when it's time to speak. You learned that the problem wasn't knowledge. It was rhythm. You were thinking about English instead of feeling it. Then you discovered shadowing, the secret that turns listening into fluency. You trained your voice to follow tone, rhythm, and emotion. You learned how to sound clear, polite, and confident, just like professionals do in real workplaces. After that, you practiced real dialogues, the kind that actually happen every day. Greeting coworkers, joining meetings, asking questions, handling mistakes, and wrapping up your day. You didn't just repeat words, you practiced connection. And then you learned how to make it all a habit. 5 minutes at a time. Morning shadowing, commuter practice, lunch break talking, a confidence journal, and weekly reflection. That's how fluency grows. Not from one big moment, but from small, daily ones. Now, we finish with something deeper. Your fluency mindset. Because to speak like you belong, you need to believe you belong. When you walk into a meeting, or talk to a client, or chat with a new coworker in English, you might still hear that little voice in your head saying, "What if I make a mistake?" But here's the truth. Even native speakers make mistakes every day. They forget words, they pause, they say, and you know. The difference is, they don't stop. They keep going. And that's what confidence really is. Not speaking perfectly, but speaking through your imperfections. Let's repeat these reflection phrases together. Shadow them 3 times. Slowly, naturally, confidently. I can speak with confidence. My English voice is growing every day. I belong in English conversations. When you say them, don't just repeat the sounds, believe them. Because your English voice isn't just a sound. It's a reflection of your effort, your story, your courage. Every time you open your mouth to speak, you're not showing weakness. You're showing strength. You see, speaking English at work isn't just communication. It's self-expression. It's how you share your ideas, your humor, your personality with the world. Fluency isn't about hiding who you are. It's about expressing who you are, freely, without fear. So here's your challenge for today. Record yourself shadowing one of today's dialogues. Maybe it's the morning office chat. Maybe it's the polite clarification scene. Or maybe it's the moment you said, "Oh, my mistake. Let me fix that." Record it. Listen. Repeat. Smile. Don't listen for mistakes. Listen for growth. Because it's there. Every day, your English voice gets stronger, smoother, more natural. And when you listen to yourself, you'll realize something powerful. You no longer sound like a student trying to survive English. You sound like a professional, someone who belongs in every conversation. You've built that through practice, rhythm, and heart. So let's bring it all together. One last time. Say this with me, 3 times, like a promise to yourself. I can speak with confidence. My English voice is growing every day. I belong in English conversations. This is more than language practice. It's life practice. Because when you speak with confidence, people don't just hear your English. They hear you. You started this practice as a learner. Now, you sound like a professional. Every phrase you shadowed today, every rhythm you practiced, is shaping the way the world hears you. So keep going. Keep shadowing. Keep listening. Keep speaking. Because one day soon, you won't be thinking, how do I say this in English? You'll just say it. That's when you'll know English isn't your second language anymore. It's your second nature. And on that day, you won't just speak English. You'll live in English. With confidence, connection, and your true voice.